voting since 2009. Why should I register myself as an Indian? I want my right to vote in this election. In my entire life, let's say I vote again, why will I miss one election? As a citizen of this country, I expect better. I demand better. You have to do better. This is not about anything else. This is fundamental.
In Kolkata's Lake Gardens lives Dr. Nandita Roy, an academic associated with IIM Calcutta. She is a doctorate because she is a PhD holder from Jadavpur University. Comes from a family of Indian Air Force veterans, and today she cannot vote. Her story is not unique, but what is unprecedented is how one SIR exercise has created millions like her in West Bengal. Her house is filled with books. Happily, nestled there is the Constitution of India, an educated elite in every form and manner. But the unthinkable has happened with her. Even she has been deleted from Bengal voter list post special intensive revision. She is one of the 91 lakh people deleted so far. She has now approached the tribunal. Her application runs into hundreds of pages. Documents, she says, should have been enough, including a passport. Yet, here's where she stands today: an Indian without the right to vote.
That's your passport.
Yes.
Why are you laughing?
But actually, if you think about it, it's a terrible situation. But this is when it is very Kafkaesque. It's absurd at this point, right? Photocopy of my the deed of this flat which I bought in 2021.
Achha, this property belongs to you
To
on
me.
your name.
In my name. Yeah.
Okay.
Driving license.
Right.
I have submitted everything to the tribunal. I mean, I don't know what.
You have given everything to tribunal. Okay.
I'll
You
show
filed
you
your
my-
application online.
No, I did not.
Then
Because there is another logical discrepancy in that. I'll tell you what it is. The discrepancy is that there is a Supreme Court ruling which says that Aadhaar is not mandatory, right? And it says that Aadhaar cannot be proof of nationality. There's a ruling like that,
it's a proof of identity.
but not citizenship.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So now the thing is that if you are to submit, I was talking about the website issues. If you are to submit the appeal online, your Aadhaar and voter ID have to be connected.
Okay.
Why so?
Why so? I mean, my Aadhaar is there with the bank. My
Yes.
Aadhaar is connected with my PAN. My Aadhaar is connected with the life. But my Aadhaar
But
does
the
not
Aadhaar does
represent
not, yeah.
my life.
Yeah. My PhD certificate.
These are your
Right.
PhD certificates.
Yeah.
You have your picture here.
No, photos are not given.
Oh wow! I wish I had one. Certificate 2017.
2017.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if I have to go by Kangana Ranawat, she said Bharat Azad hua 2014 ke baad.
So
Sahi maine.
independent.
So yeah.
Independent India. Yes.
So according to our member of parliament Kangana Ranawat, who in multiple occasions had said that India attained its true independence in 2014, well, even by her standard, this PhD certificate has been given to her in 2017, which means by independent India. And the chancellor of this university is governor of West Bengal, again part of independent India. And now you're a Rohingya.
I do not know. I do not know.
I can see your birth certificate.
Yeah.
Okay, that's your birth certificate. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Document one.
I can't show you the content. It's
yeah.
birth certificate of Dr. Nandita Roy. Okay.
There's more. I can
Yeah.
get more, but this is then what happens is the next thing that we do is statement of marks, class 10.
Okay, class 10. Class 10. A brilliant student, obviously, a brilliant student who scored 95 in English, and she is with communication. So, yeah, that's her mark sheet,
Right.
class 10. Then that's your passport.
Yes.
Given to you by Indian government.
Yes.
Date of issue is date of issue is 2017.
Yes.
Okay. And you've used this passport to travel abroad.
Many times.
This
yeah.
is your US visa. Okay.
It's still a valid visa.
Okay. So you are an Indian passport holding citizen
Yeah.
who has traveled abroad using Indian passport.
Yes.
But in India, you have now been deleted as an Indian voter.
Yes.
How do you see this?
How I see this, and that is why perhaps I'm speaking to you today, because once again I would repeat that this is not about me. This is not about me. This is about 91 lakh people who have been excluded from the list. Why did I use the term excluded? That's also an interesting change. You said deleted, I said excluded. When I had checked the Election Commission website, I think on 31st March, I saw that the message came, the pop-up was that you're deleted. That was the word. Today I checked it again. Right? So, academics are kind of nitpicking in many ways. I checked it again, and the terminology has changed. Now it is being shown as excluded.
Why do you think they are changing the terminology?
How do I know? I'm not a lawyer.
If you use your communication hat, do you see this as a more polite way that you're not wanted, or deleted means more aggressive that we delete you? Or is it a polite way of...
Excluded means that you have, so this is again my own interpretation, like you said, excluded means that you can later on be included.
At the moment excluded.
At the moment you're excluded.
So you're not welcome to vote in 2026.
Not right now.
You're not welcomed.
Not right now. Maybe later.
Have you followed the Supreme Court hearings?
I have, but not in great detail.
Did you notice? Sorry to cut you, but did you notice the kind of submission that Election Commission of India has made, that it's a continuous process? Let them qualify, let them come back to the voting list later, and be a voter in the future, but not now. The fact that they are stressing on the fact not now, which means they don't want people like you to cast their votes now. How do you see this as a role of Election Commission of India?
And that is actually my fundamental question. You know what? The thing is that we are all hearing there's a very important process. There are people who are dead or whatever, etc. There are people who are apparently, again, I just read the newspaper every day, and these are things one is hearing. Millions of people are coming in and reaching abroad. Whatever it is, even if that is true, why the hurry? This is a very, very important process. Today, if you tell me that, it's just one election, so then provisionally make something, pass an interim order, which I have put in my appeal, that I should be allowed to cast my vote in this election. It will be a grave injustice if later on I'm said, okay, now you can, but what about this election? Like I said, since 2009, I have been voting diligently every single time. I have been traveling, whenever I have been living outside of Calcutta, I have come here, I have cast my vote. Now, are you saying that my vote is not important? When it's a very conflicting message to me. What is it? What is the status of my citizenship? I have a passport, I pay the tax every year, I own a house here in this particular society, and yet you're telling me in Kolkata, and you're telling me that sorry, deleted, oops, sorry again, excluded. So I don't know what I will hear tomorrow. And once again I'm saying this is not about me. This is about 91 lakh people. Why the 91 lakh? I was looking at people around me, calling friends, the number of women voters who have been excluded. Women voters who have been either deleted or excluded. I was talking to someone today in the morning. She told me that her BLO said, your name is not on the list, but on the website her name has come up. I said, you have to go, you have to fight. Again, the thing is, we are all, uh, a lot of people in this country, they have to work in order to earn their daily bread. How is it possible for them? Gather documents, go, run time and again,
And
to the
spend money
spend money,
after photocopying.
spend money.
For you, 500 rupees after photocopying and travel might
Yes,
not pinch you.
yes,
But those
yes,
people who are
yes,
daily wage earner now
yes,
literally struggling in this scorching heat, standing in a
yes,
queue, for them 500 rupees matters a
exactly,
lot.
exactly.
And
I have the wherewithal. I can draft the appeal. I can add the documents. I can call my friends who are lawyers and say that, hey, please help me out, And on WhatsApp they can send me a format that this is the way, go about it. How many people have, out of that 91 lakh, will have that privilege?
also, for election commission to say that you can file your application online, it is too naive to expect that there is 100%
Yeah.
digital literacy in
Yes.
digital India.
That's another point. So I have been, actually, people around me, and so you can see Asha's here, her mom is here. So there are a lot of people around me for whom I have been doing this checking online. How many people have a laptop? How many people have access to a desktop or a computer? To get into the website, you and to get any document, to see anything, there is something called a captcha.
Capture.
That captcha doesn't work most of the time,
Hmm.
right? So when it doesn't work, what do you have to do? So you figure out, you change your browser. That's what I do. In the Safari browser, it doesn't work, so I go to Google Chrome, then I put on incognito mode, then I clear my cookies, then even then, when I'm not able to see the captcha, I do an audio captcha, right? This immense number of steps, how many people have the wherewithal to do it? Another thing, do we know, out of this 91 lakh voters who have been deleted or excluded, how many are differently abled?
Yeah.
We do not know. If someone is visually impaired, how will they check the list?
Hmm.
Someone is hearing impaired, how will they listen to the audio? So it is absolutely, it boggles my mind. And that is the only reason, because I have also been told a very strange thing, which I didn't do, which is this: you have everything, why don't you fill up form 6 and register yourself as a new voter?
Form 6.
Yes,
Okay.
that's the roundabout way. So we often go, we take these diversions, right, like a roundabout. Why should I do it? I'm not a new voter. I have been voting since 2009. Why should I register myself as a new voter? It is, why am I being given this advice? It's not just me. I'm sure that millions of people are being given the same advice. Just register as a new voter. That is not right. This is an important process. It's a matter of our constitution. It's a matter of our country.
It's a matter of our rights.
It's a matter of our rights.
You have filed your enumeration form.
Yeah.
What did you do for your mapping? Whose reference did you use?
So I used my grandfather's reference.
Your grandfather was there in 2002 voter list.
Yes, my
Okay.
grandfather's reference. So I proved that my father is my father. My father passed away in the year 2022.
Sorry about that.
I proved that through my birth certificate, passport, Aadhaar card, etc., that my father is my father. And in my father's different documents, including his service records in the Indian Air Force.
Oh, your
That
father
proves-
was with Indian Air Force?
Yeah, and so
You're a
was my grandfather. So my father was, and to prove that my father was my grandfather's son, I used those documents. So I did prove the lineage.
Your father was with Indian Air Force, and your grandfather too was with Indian Air Force?
Yes,
So you belong to the family of forces.
yes.
Okay. So your grandfather has served India.
Has served India. Yes.
Your father has served India.
Yes.
And you, the granddaughter of your grandfather,
Yes.
and daughter of your father,
Yes.
you're not an Indian to cast your vote.
I am excluded now.
Okay. How does it feel? How does it feel? I'm sure it kind of it must be overwhelming to even imagine that belonging to a family who have served, who have been in service to the country,
Yes.
who have been in the forces, and today you are being questioned.
Yeah. Do you remember the math you had to do in classes in class 6 or 7 or 8? If 5 people are working for 10 hours a day, right? It takes me back to that kind of math. So I understand the pressure that the BLO at the BLO level, at the block level, at the constituency level, the pressure these individuals must have been facing,
Enormous.
right? In this kind of situation, mistakes can happen, and I still think I would perhaps say that okay, maybe it was a mistake that happened. This mistake should not have happened for a thing that is so serious. My only question, if you're asking me what I've been feeling, my question is, what was the hurry?
Would you
Journal.
say the Election Commission of India had been unprofessional?
As a citizen of this country, I expect better. I demand better. You have to do better. This is not about anything else. This is fundamental. This is fundamental. Today, someone told me that the number of deleted people is more than the population of Turkey. Can you even? I mean, I can't fathom. Can you imagine what is happening?
I asked this to an educated person. She teaches at IIM. She's a doctorate. She had been teaching communication at IIM. Now Kolkata, previously Lucknow. So obviously, you have got students, you have got followers, you have got a social circle.
Yeah.
All right. So now when you go back to your college, and I'm sure everyone now by now knows that you are excluded. Uh, has that invited any societal scrutiny, unsolicited ones?
Not yet.
Okay. Do you fear that can happen?
I do not know.
Do you think it's not happening to you because you are a
I
professor?
of course that I 100% agree.
That can happen.
It isn't because I know. I will tell you. I know that it is happening. There was someone that I know whose driver has been excluded from the list. The driver went to the bank to withdraw money. The teller at the bank, now we are again privileged, we are using online payments, etc. The teller at the bank had said, show your name in the SIR. Otherwise, you cannot withdraw money. So this is already happening. So the disenfranchised, this is a very dangerous road that we are. I went to the tribunal today, so it is very likely that I will not be able to vote in these elections. I'm willing to fight for that. I think we also need to go out and we also need to speak about it. Because today it is 91 lakh. Today what will be the number? Tomorrow what can be the number? Tomorrow it can be you. Right?
Very interestingly, it is quite scary, and I would say the idea intimidates. So Samrat Chaudhary is the Deputy Chief Minister of Bihar, and he was here in Bengal for BJP, campaigning for BJP, and he has, in a way, given out a sense as what's happening in Bihar, for your knowledge. So 22 lakh people have been removed in Bihar SIR. Okay. Now, Samrat Chaudhary, the Deputy Chief Minister, doesn't really matter whether he's campaigning for BJP in Bengal or not, but he still holds that portfolio of being the Deputy Chief Minister and speaking for Bihar. He's saying that 22 lakh people have been deleted and now we have stopped giving them ration. Very soon, we will remove their driving licenses. We are very clearly on our path. Yeah. These are all Ghuspetiyas. These are all Ghuspetiyas and we have stopped giving them ration. Now imagine the entire narrative has been, I'm sorry, I don't want to drag you into any political conversation. The narrative has been detect, delete, deport. You have detected, you have deleted. But why aren't you deporting those 22 lakhs? Instead of deporting them, you are denying them basic fundamental rights, right to food. Because deporting them has to go through a legal course. And it almost gives an idea that the entire SIR exercise, the way it's being executed and the fallout is being presented in such a manner that can be easily legally challenged. You are saying they have been deleted, but on what grounds are you calling them illegal infiltrators? Right. And the reason why you're denying them ration, right, it is quite surprising that you're denying them ration now tomorrow you plan to deny them their driving license, basically come in the way of everything that can help them claim to be an Indian citizen, fair point. But if you know their Ghuspetiya, deport them, save our Indian resources. But you will not do that because that would require legal ratification and you would lose out your political narrative.
Right.
What was the logical discrepancy that you were summoned
And there
on?
was I received no notice. I was not even called to a hearing.
Were you there in the draft list?
I was there in the draft list.
You were there in the draft list?
Yes.
And then randomly
It
deleted?
is, like I'm saying, it is not possible for people. I actually try to, the math is not my domain, but I try to do the math. Like, if there are so many appeals at the tribunal now, every judge, and this another friend of mine actually did the math and said, every judge, even if they work for 10 hours a day, without a loo break, without break for tea, coffee, or any food, 10 hours constantly, even then, for every single case, they will have 2 minutes. In 2 minutes, how much can you do when we, as I said, I'm a professor, when I'm grading my students for their exams. Do I look at my students' papers in 2 minutes?
Do you fear tomorrow this can happen to you also? You would be denied your other fundamental rights, right to move around, right to hold a bank account.
It's possible.
It is possible.
Why isn't it possible? If this was possible, then why not that?
Now that this has happened to you, has it hurt you anyway with the feeling that you are lesser Indian?
Of course.
You are?
Of course.
Are you a lesser Indian?
I do not have the right to vote in this election.
A lesser Indian with an Indian passport?
With everything. With everything. I demand, what I want is, let the courts pass an interim order that, okay, if pending your appeal at the tribunal, go and vote. I want my right to vote in this election. In my entire life, let's say I vote again, why will I miss one election? Why will I not exercise my right to vote?
It is almost like telling people that please be in comatose for about this election and then come alive.
In government services, if I go and tell someone that, your service record just for 1 year, let there be a gap in the service record. Will the officers of Election Commission agree?
Will the Prime Minister or the Chief Minister or every other minister of the country ever agree that we will not be the Prime Minister, we will not be the minister
just for 6 months?
For 6 months.
Yeah.
Till the matter is pending.
And then we'll come back.
Then we come back.
This is absolutely, it's quite ridiculous that I am having to hear that.
Final question. You said initially a lot of people in your circle had been saying, बहुत ज़्यादा घुसपैठिया है, and I have also come across, and especially people who are privileged who like talking, they would say सारे चार बंगाल में तो सब घुसपैठिया आ गया है, बंगाल में सब घुसपैठिया आ गए, we need SIR, सबको निकाल चुन के निकालेंगे. Do you think after this has happened to you, the perception of your immediate circle has changed a bit?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that has happened because, and for that I had to come forward. I had to share my story. I had two options. The first option was, everyone was telling me that just, it's okay. Form 6, it'll get done. Don't worry. Why are you bothering yourself with this? Other things to do. Form 6 is not right. I wouldn't do that. I'm talking today, I'm bringing my story. I want everyone to understand that how the process has failed in my case. And if it has failed in my case, out of the 91 lakh, I pointed out, what about people who are differently abled? What about the women? What about people who do not have the privileges? What about them who do not have access to a computer, who cannot draft an appeal, who cannot leave their one-day wage and come here and file the appeal at the tribunal? What about the 91 lakh? And by the way, as someone who has, as like you said, someone
privileged,
who not just privileged, I'm
educated.
Thinking in terms of education, of course. I'm also thinking as someone who is a Bangali, right? আমি তো বাঙালি। আজকে বাঙালিদের আমি একটা জিনিস বরাবর দেখে এসেছি, যে বাঙালিরা কিন্তু এই সমস্ত কিছু বিষয় খুব কনসিয়াস, খুব কনসার্নড। আজকে বোধহয় সময় হয়েছে আমাদের অনেক মানুষকে এই কথাগুলো বলতে হবে। কিছু কথা তো বলতেই হবে। একদম যদি আমরা কিছু কথা না বলি, আজকে আমার হচ্ছে না বলে, আচ্ছা আমার লিস্ট এসে গেছে, ভাই কোনো চাপ নেই, একটু রিল দেখি, সেটা করলে বোধহয় হবে না। দিস ইজ টু বিগ।
You think Bengalis?
91 lakh is 1/5 of the vote. What is the meaning of this vote? When everything, when there are so many appeals pending at the tribunal, why can't the vote be done later? I'm saying, what was the hurry? Why do you need to do it right away? If you do need to do it right away, follow the process, give an interim order that okay, you go with some other document, you cast your vote. Not being able to vote in one election also is not acceptable. Not
You-
for me, for 91
You
lakh.
cannot expect someone to be not an Indian even for a day,
Yeah.
if that person is an Indian. And if our Representation Act categorically states that your right to vote is synonymous to your citizenship, because it is said that if you are an Indian, you get to cast your vote in Indian elections. If you are denied the very right to cast your vote in an Indian election, maybe one institution is trying to detect you as not an Indian, and that is not acceptable even for a single day for many, like Dr. Nondita Roy. Those who were initially euphoric that SIR means detection of Bangladeshi, Rohingyas, infiltrators, you have one of your own. An educated Hindu, Bengali woman belonging to a service family where 2 generations have served India in uniform, yet today stands deleted, excluded from the right to vote, and that to her is unacceptable. Is this acceptable to the Bhadralok and the Bhadra Samaj of Kolkata, the elites of Kolkata, the elites of Bengal? It's a question best answered by them if they choose to answer. For now, there are millions of people looking for a tinker of hope that there would be some magic giving them back the right to vote, because they think they belong to this land and they're tired of proving that they belong to this land. Along with video journalist Ronnie Shatra and Titash Mukherjee here in Kolkata, this is Tamal Shah, News the Truth, NTT.